Did you know that there's a procrastination research group? It's run by Dr. Tim Pitchell of Carleton University. He's been studying procrastination for over 20 years. Here are the 5 cognitive disorders that lead to procrastination. 1. Overestimation of time left to perform tasks. 2. Underestimation of time required to complete tasks. 3. Overestimation of future motivational states. 4. Misreliance on the necessity of emotional congruence to succeed at a task. And 5. Belief that working when not in the mood to work is suboptimal. The first 2 are pretty commonly known. We routinely discount previous experience when we figure it'll take us 20 minutes to get out the door in the morning. Yesterday it took half an hour. The day before that, it took half an hour. Every day this week, it's taken half an hour. But somehow we can't get ourselves to believe that simple little tasks like putting on a shirt and brushing our teeth can possibly take up all that time. And that leads to the second distortion. How long does it take to brush your teeth? We tend to focus on the actual brushing part, a few minutes tops. But there's a bunch of other time-consuming steps, like walking to the bathroom, getting your brush out, putting the toothpaste on it. And then after brushing, there's the rinsing, the drying, the putting away. Now these things are all pretty quick, but they combine to make the task longer than it is in your mind. And that's in an ideal world where there are no obstacles or distractions. The other 3 were a bit surprising to me, especially the last one. Although I intuitively knew them, I've never seen them spelled out so clearly. Number 3, overestimation of future motivational states, refers to putting things off with the belief that you'll be in the mood to do them later. In her book, The Willpower Instinct, Kelly McGonigal writes of a study in which people were asked to predict how much they would exercise in the coming weeks. Most people predicted they'd exercise a lot more than they actually did. Not a huge surprise, right? Then they were asked the same questions prefaced by, "in an ideal world." But their answers were the same. That means that they always answered this question as if they were in an ideal world. In an ideal world where the train is on time, the dog has been walked, dinner's ready, and nothing gets spilled, broken, or lost. Their predictions were not at all geared to the world we actually live in. Number 4, misreliance on the necessity of emotional congruence to succeed at a task, elaborates on that concept by asserting that you don't really have to be perky, focused, and happy and carefree to get your work done. At the last point says that the work you do can be good work, even if you're not up for it. It's common to have a romantic hope that the muse of report writing, sales calling, house cleaning, sculpting, or tax preparing will descend on you and will cause you to happily devote your energies to the appointed task and emerge with a masterpiece. But let's be realistic. Most great artists and other accomplished folk don't sit around waiting for inspiration. They just get down to business. The hard-working Thomas Edison said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Here's another great quotation from The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Someone once asked Somerset Maugham if he wrote on a schedule or only when struck by inspiration. "I write only when inspiration strikes," he replied. "Fortunately, it strikes every morning at 9 o'clock sharp." Another book I love, It's About Time, The 6 Styles of Procrastination and How to Overcome Them by Dr. Linda Sapadin, lays out these personality types. See if you recognize any of them. The perfectionist. These people don't want to finish or even start a project they fear won't be perfect. They waste time refining and honing their work, but adding no value. The dreamer. These people are better at ideas than execution. Actually doing the work seems tedious and boring. They are vague about how to make things happen, and they tend to believe they'll be magically rescued. The worrier. These people fear risk and always wonder, what if? What if? They put off acting if it means doing something unfamiliar or uncomfortable. The defier. These people hate feeling controlled by others. They feel oppressed by mundane chores. "You can't make me," is their tagline. The crisis maker. These people are adrenaline junkies. They thrive on and even create near disasters because they're so exciting. The overdoer. These people are indecisive and unassertive. They say yes to everyone and then they get stuck. They overcommit and they burn out. Did you find yourself in one of those? If so, take heart. There are remedies for procrastination, and that's the topic of next week's podcast. Your action step this week is to try to pin yourself down to a couple of these types. I know people are usually more than one, but if you can figure out what type of procrastinator you are, you're going to be able to make better use of the solutions that I give next week.